Hello guys, today we're going to be talking about something a little different. Camera settings. So let's talk about the three main components to your camera. The first being shutter speed. Your shutter speed is important because it's how fast your images are being taken. This shouldn't be confused with frames per second, which is how many shots are being taken in a given second. Your shutter speed is how fast those shots are getting taken. So for sports, you're going to want a higher shutter speed than, let's say, some portraits. Like right here, my shutter speed's at 4,000th of a second. And for this portrait right here, it's more like 250 to 200. Why wouldn't I have shutter speed high all the time? Well, it's because your shutter speed darkens your images. The higher your shutter speed is, the darker your images are. Now, you can compensate for this by either decreasing your aperture or increasing your ISO. Your ISO is your camera putting in artificial light into your subject. So for this right here, this was a blacklight shoot that we did a while ago. And for blacklight shoot, it's complete darkness with a UV light and some neon face paint. Now you'll notice that there's a lot of noise in there. The issue with having that much noise is you can't see the image properly. Versus this one right here, the key difference between the two is that I decreased my shutter speed and I decreased my ISO. Your ISO only does so much. Yeah, it's a balancing act. Then you have your aperture. Your aperture is what is in focus. Think of it as an area of effect. Your aperture is going to change with your subject. For landscape, you're going to see f-stops from 8 to 11 to something crazy like 22. This photo right here is a landscape image that I took at f8. So in addition to your manual mode, you have a few other settings on your camera. For Canon and Sony, you have your AV mode, which is your aperture priority. For Nikon, it's A, but it's still aperture priority. You have TV mode, which is you setting your shutter and then your camera adjusting settings on its own. And then your P mode is what selects both your shutter and aperture. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'll see you guys next week with another tutorial. Have a happy quarantine. Bye.